The following bout is scheduled for one fall. It is a special Tornado Tag Team Attraction. In this match, if Phil Brown and the Boar win, Phil Brown gets 2 minutes with the manager of champions, Neil Sharkey. But if the Sharkey Tank wins, Phil Brown must leave VCW. Introducing first, team number 1, and a total combined weight of 510 pounds. They are the Hoss of all Hosses, Devantes, and Buckshot. They are accompanied to the ring by the manager of champions, Neil Sharkey. Please welcome the Sharkey Tank.
So during the Luli's Lounge, from what I understand, Brandon Metheny Esquire, this ring has been given some extra reinforcements as nearly 1,000 pounds of force set to come down here right now in this tornado tag.
Absolutely, and the fact that it's a tornado tag match makes that reinforcement necessary because there are no tags. All 4 men are there at once, and it's just a matter of minutes before Phil Brown is gone from VCW.
That, of course, is one of the stipulations of this bout if the Sharkey Tank is successful. But if the Platinum Icon, the franchise of VCW, and the Boar are able to get the victory here tonight, Brandon Metheny Esquire, Phil Brown gets not 1, but 2 whole minutes alone inside that ring with the Sharkey Tank manager, Neil Sharkey. Bell sounds we're underway, tornado tag, anything goes right here.
Listen, like, you can say all you want about Phil Brown being the franchise player. You know, Joe Montana was the franchise quarterback at San Francisco, but then he went to Kansas City and things were not so great. I think we're in Phil Brown's Kansas City stage right now.
Well, he still pushed it all the way to the precipice of the championship game, so we will see if the Platinum Icon can get at least himself and the Boar a bit closer to glory here tonight. But again, a huge task in front of him. Phil Brown suffered pinfall losses at the hand of the Hoss of all Hosses, Devantes. And of course, the Platinum Icon we know as he's mixing it up on the outside right now, a long history with Buckshot Brown.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, Devantes, I have to tell you, has been just incredibly impressive in his time here at VCW. He's come in just like a wrecking ball, honestly, and has just destroyed everyone he's had in contact with. That man has championship gold in his future, there's no doubt in my mind.
Certainly 4 championship caliber athletes inside the ring right now.
And of course, don't forget, the manager of champions.
Here we go, Boar with a cover. Nearly gets 3, but of course Buckshot Brock interjecting himself. And again, with no tags really in this bout, Brandon Metheny Esquire, it's going to be very difficult to dispatch your opponents.
It is. You really have to take out both people at the same time, because as soon as you go for a pin, they're going to be on top of you. As Boar just learned there the hard way, now he's in there getting kicked between Buckshot, Brian Rock, and Devantes, because, you know why? He didn't pay attention to what he needed to do.
This, of course, our first of 2 tag team bouts here tonight. Of course, 2 out of 3 falls for the Virginia Tag Team Championships later on. But Brandon Metheny Esquire, Buckshot Brian Brock right there with a double shoulder tackle. Buckshot Brock, a former VCW Tag Team Champion.
Absolutely, and almost a 3-point stance from them. Oh!
And the Platinum Icon exploding right through the Sharkey Tank here. The Platinum Icon trying to poke a hole in that tank and let it start leaking out.
See, he's got Brian Brock under control, but he's got to watch his back for Devantes.
As Phil Brown and the Boar certainly have come together and have looked like a well-oiled machine in their couple of bouts together.
The ref's got to get in there and stop this. This is not legal. Come on, this is not allowed. Come on.
Phil unloading. It's a tornado tag match.
That doesn't mean there aren't rules.
If anyone should know the rules, it should be you.
I do, and there should have been double disqualification there. Match is over. Phil Brown's fired.
Stereo super kicks right there by Brown and Boar as the Sharkey Tank rolls to the outside.
See, that's Neil Sharkey's coaching right there. Knowing they need to get to the outside, catch their breath, gather themselves, come back in, and win this match.
Smart move right there.
I just said so, I know.
Indeed, to slow the bout down a bit, but Phil Brown and Boar looking to exact the measure of revenge from the Liberty Lottery the last time we were here inside this building, Brandon Metheny, nearly 4 months ago.
I mean, it wasn't like the Sharkey Tank jumped them or anything. They lost the match. They beat them. If you want to beat them, be better. It's just that simple.
Looking to even the odds right here. And you see Neil Sharkey looking to head for higher ground. He wants nothing to do with Phil Brown. But of course, the Platinum Icon, with a victory tonight, would have the ability to stand inside that ring for 120 seconds all alone with Neil Sharkey.
I'm proud of you for doing that, Matt. Neil Sharkey with what we refer to as a strategic withdrawal in that situation, making sure he's in the best position possible to help his men when they need it most.
As referee Ron Mills, our senior official, also assisted here by Ross Hall, trying to maintain a semblance of order here. But again, Brandon Metheny in this tornado tag-like environment, we're right at home.
Oh, there's no order here. It's just a matter of who's getting that first pin. But there's nothing close to order happening here. As we're seeing right now, Brian Brock putting a chokehold of some sort on Phil Brown, and Devantes and Boar exchanging punches. It is just chaos on the outside, and I love to see it.
And if you look at the styles of all 4 of these men, Brandon Metheny, this is right in all of their wheelhouse. They like to brawl, they like to kick, they like to punch. Not a whole lot of scientific wrestling to be expected with these 4 men.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is, the only thing that kept these men from doing this before was the rules of the match. Now those rules are gone, they're just going to do whatever they, Neil Sharkey finding his inner peace right now in the match, sitting on the ramp, meditative, ready for his boys to do what they need to do.
And of course, still 3 championship bouts left to go tonight, but a very high stakes affair here. As of course also the Destruction Derby will look to have a new #1 contender for the Virginia Heavyweight Championship. But Brian Brock, leaving his feet right there with the enziguri connecting right on the side of the head of the Platinum Icon. Buckshot Brock showing off some serious athleticism.
I mean, it's like a cruiserweight out there. It's incredible.
The hoss of hosses here, Devantes, laying into Phil Brown once again, providing a 2-on-1 attack.
See, that's smart wrestling right there. They've got Boar down, now they're in there putting Phil away. And by the way, Blake, when the Sharkey Tank wins, I expect they'll get a tag team title shot in the future. They're the best team in VCW.
With a victory tonight, either team would certainly be in line for a higher stakes affair as we head into 2023. A lot of dates on the calendar, a lot of cities, Norfolk, Suffolk, Hampton, Northern Virginia. VCW continuing to grow into 2023, and all of these athletes looking to take championship gold with them. And Devantes showing his athleticism, and the high-angle German release suplex. Dumping Boar right in the center of the ring. The hoss of all hosses with the cover. 2 hooks to the outside leg. And Ron Mills says it's 2.5. The closest we've come tonight to the end of Phil Brown and VCW.
Just an incredible show of strength and technique there by Devantes. getting the largest man in the match, at least in terms of height, over his back and onto the mat. Phenomenal stuff by the Hoss of all Hosses, showing that power.
Brock drops that signature elbow, and if it was any other man in there, Brandon Metheny, that probably would be enough. But against the 6'4", 250-plus pound Boar, it's going to take a little bit more than that to get rid of him.
I will give Boar all the credit in the world. The man can take a beating and then some. He has endurance like almost no one else in VCW. But, I mean, look who he's in there against. And Phil Brown just being a complete non-factor on the outside.
And the Sharkey Tank send Boar for a ride.
I mean, this could very easily be it.
Incredible double team. Devantes with the cover. The hook leg is hooked. And as Ron Mills' hand is coming down, he signals to us that's only two. Once again, within a hair's breadth of Phil Brown seeing that exit.
We're going to need to get Ron Mills on the clock, make sure those counts are good.
This cadence seems fine from my vantage point.
I'm not sure about that. Maybe you need to get some glasses.
And once again, the double teams ensue by Buckshot, Brock, and Devantes.
Don't sound so high and mighty, Blake. It's a tag match. Double teams are part of the game.
As Phil Brown looking to even the odds here, as the Platinum Icon tries to get into the ring, and Neil Sharkey trips him up, but Phil Brown now laser focused.
He cannot do that until they win this match. He cannot touch
Sharkey put his hands on him, and just like that, Devantes comes to the aid of the leader of the Sharkey Tank.
Taking your eyes off your opponent, a rookie move, one I would not expect from the franchise, Phil Brown.
As Brock and Boar inside the ring. Two literal hosses in there.
No kidding, I think the ring just moved.
Again, over 1,000 pounds of force in there. And it looks like Neil Sharkey taking a seat on the outside, moving one of our security out of the way.
That was a very stressful and scary experience for Neil. He is more than entitled to take up a little bit of a breather.
As referee Ross Hall on the outside, trying to keep things in order, while Buckshot, Brock, and Boar ascending to high-risk territory, and Brandon Metheny with the size of both of these men, this could be a very precarious situation.
The people in the front row may want to move because this ring could fly apart if they hit this.
Brock going for the superplex. Boar putting on the brakes here. As Boar
This feels like very unfamiliar territory for both of these.
trying to knock Brock off his ledge, and Brock takes a big tumble. And Buckshot Brock is down in a supine position. And the 6'4", 250-plus pounder. Listen to this crowd, Brandon Metheny. They're calling for Boar.
They're giving him some terrible advice. He should get off that top rope.
Boar looking for, oh! From the heavens above! Drops that elbow. Isn't enough.
They can't make the cover.
Here we go. There's the cover. 1, 2, and just like that, legally, Devantes is able to break up the pin.
What you missed, Blake, was Neil Sharkey saw that happening, got Devantes, got him into breaking the pin. That is why Neil Sharkey's manager of champions. That's why he's the best in the business.
One of the most precise strategists in all of professional wrestling.
The man knows his moment and isn't afraid to take advantage.
And Devantes, with that TKO, puts Boar right down with the Platinum Icon with the killer coming right back. And Brock nearly decapitates him. All four men are down here. Phil Brown's future in VCW hanging in the balance here at Tidings of Destruction.
You gotta believe whoever gets their feet here, Blake, is gonna have a very real advantage. This match has just really worn out all four men, and they've all taken some just bombs from each other. And whoever gets their feet first can very well win this match.
Ron Mills administering his count here. Brandon Metheny think it's the 10. Who wins?
I think it's a double count out. I think that the match just ends. I don't know what happens.
We have a couple of seconds to figure it out here, and it looks like Boar and Brown back to a vertical base. The Sharkey Tank is stumbling here. A little punch drunk right now are Devantes and Brock.
Brock shook off those cobwebs. A great elbow to Phil Brown.
As all four men are in here, letting loose, back and forth, tooth and nail, right in the center of the ring. This tornado tag hanging the balance once again.
This has broken down just a slugfest. Like, no wrestling, no fancy moves, just punching the other guy in the face.
And Brock sends Phil Brown shoulder first into that steel ring post. Again, no padding or protection there, but Boar sees Brock right in the Boar zone and nearly folds him right in half.
Devantes could be in trouble here.
And Boar, he's got him locked and loaded. And Devantes snaps back with the spine buster. He pops right up, but Phil Brown's on his feet. Phil Brown, the standing Uranagi. Will that be enough? 1, 2, 3 to win it.
This is,
Ladies and gentlemen, proxy of this victory, Phil Brown now gets 2 minutes all alone with Neil Sharkey.
this is a disaster. This is dangerous for Neil Sharkey. Neil Sharkey is not medically cleared.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, by proxy of this victory, the Platinum Icon Phil Brown gets 2 minutes all alone with Neil Sharkey inside the ring.
The 2 minutes can come at a future time. Neil Sharkey is not medically cleared.
You're all about rules, you're all about stipulations. It's very clearly stated in the contract. If Phil Brown and Boar win, Neil Sharkey 2 minutes alone with Phil Brown, and that clock starts right now.
There is nothing that says it has to happen. This is unjust. That could be arranged later. We'll fulfill the contract, but this is wrong, Blake.
The last opportunity of the year to see it go down, and it's gonna go down right here. And Phil Brown now questioning, should he shake his hand? It's giving me Jerry Stephanie flashbacks to 7 years ago. And Phil,
Unsporting.
oh no, has Neil Sharkey's hand right underneath the boot of the Platinum Icon. And that can make the future a little more difficult for Neil Sharkey, and he gets clocked right there by the Platinum Icon.
That's enough. That's enough. It's really that's enough. We're done.
And Boar now. Boar's got him. Boar and Brown, they have Neil Sharkey.
Boar was not in on this contract. He should not touch Neil Sharkey.
It indeed is technically Phil Brown, but right now,
Technically, you mean accurately.
Boar still has not touched him, so technically he has not broken a rule. As Phil Brown.
Surely it's been like 30 minutes at this point.
30 minutes? The show's barely been 30 minutes.
It's been too long.
As Phil Brown winds up and nearly knocks the leader of the Sharkey Tank into next week.
An unnecessary shot to Brian Brock there.
And Phil sending Neil Sharkey all around the ring here, beating him from pillar to post. Winds up. And Phil fulfilling the 2 minutes here to its fullest.
This is just, where is Phil's sense of fair play? Where is his sense of sportsmanship?
He gets 2 minutes alone with Neil, and he's loving every second of it.
A true gentleman would have said, "Good job, sir. Thank you for being honorable," and walked away.
As Neil Sharkey stumbles back into the ring, Phil Brown maybe wants to leave him one last present for the holiday season. And there's the big strike. And now Phil.
That is a $15,000 jacket. Custom made.
I don't know what sort of comps you're using. As Phil having fun right now with Neil Sharkey.
I'll be filing a lawsuit. There we go.
And the Platinum Icon. As Phil Brown celebrating here with the Boar after a huge tornado tag team victory, dispatching the Sharkey Tank. Well, Brandon Metheny Esquire, coming up next, a very interesting mix of styles. We're looking at a world-class Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu specialist in the Bushmaster Tim Springs, the former three-time Virginia heavyweight champion Brandon Scott. It's the technical wrestling against the BJJ background, and it's coming up